Hi everyone, this is CA Hardik Thakkar, and in this video we are going to understand the concept of income from other sources, okay? But I am going to specifically focus on one type of income which I will come to in the next 1 or 2 minutes, okay? So what is income from other sources, friends? Income from other sources is a residual head of income defined under Income Tax Act 1961, okay? So Income Tax Act defined 4 head of income in detail. It said that a assessee can earn income from salaries, okay, if there is an employer-employee relationship and other eligibility criteria. Then a person can rent out a house property and can earn income from house property. A person can have his own business or profession and earn profits out of it, that is income from business and profession, right? A person can transfer his or her capital asset and make gains or profit, that is income from capital gains, right? But what if a person earns income which is not getting classified in any of these 4 head of income, okay? Will you not tax that particular income? Obviously not. Income tax will not leave any income, right? Income tax wants tax on every possible income that you can earn. So under what head of income they will collect these taxes, okay? I'll give you an example. I am a professor teaching in Nagindas Khandwala College, right? I am earning salary from there. Agreed? I have my own practice and I also do content creation. So from the income that I earn from there is my professional or my business income, right? If I transfer the shares, and make a profit, it is income from capital gain. If I have a house property which I am giving on rent, it is income from house property. But what if I get dividend from the shares that I have invested? What if I get interest on the fixed deposits that I have made in my name? Where will you classify dividend or income from fixed deposits? Interest from fixed deposit. When I receive fixed deposit, interest on fixed deposit, is it my salary? No, bank is not my employer. Okay. Is it my house property income? Obviously not. There is no house property. Correct? 3. Is it my capital gain? Am I transferring any asset? No, it is not my capital gain. Is it my business and profession? Absolutely not, okay? How can making an FD be someone's business? That is not possible, right? So, it is not my business and profession also. But it is an income on which income tax wants to collect the tax. So, what will be the head of income under which this dividend or interest income will be taxed? Friends, it will be taxed under a residual head of income which goes by the name income from other sources. So basically income from other sources is income tax's way of telling you that no matter how smart you think you are, no matter how creative you can get in naming the type of income which does not get covered under any 4 head of income, you will not be able to escape the tax, because by default any income which is not covered under the previous 4 head of income will be automatically covered under income from other sources. Right? So interest, dividend, any winning from betting, gambling, lottery, okay, where you pay flat tax of 30%, so that is covered under income from other sources. If you rent anything other than house property which is not your business, right, like if you rent a car which is not your business and you earn the profit, you rent furniture, or you rent any piece of land that you have, okay, you are not into the business of renting those things, right? If you are a Zoom car whose business is renting out cars, then the income that you receive from renting Zoom car, that is a professional income, that is a business income. But if let's say I am not into the business of renting the car, but I find some client who wants car for 5 days and they are ready to pay me 10,000 rupees. So that 10,000 rupees of income will be my income from other sources. Okay, then income from enhanced compensation, interest on enhanced compensation, and there are list of income that you will be able to know which are covered under income from other sources, but that list is illustrative in nature and not exhaustive. That means even the income which might not be defined over there, but if they are not getting covered under any other 4 head of income, and if that income is not specifically exempted by income tax, it will definitely be taxed as income from other sources. Very clear? Yes? One specific type of income that I want to cover in this particular video in little detail, which will take 2 to 3 minutes, is income from gifts. Okay, now gift is something that has always fascinated the taxpayers, and they would always want to understand about whom you can receive the gift from. If I received this amount in gift, what will be the tax implication? Should I take it in cash? You know, should I take it in the bank account? How does it work? So let me explain you the taxability of a gift. Okay, if you want to understand gift, first let us understand that gift can be received from two kinds of people. First is your relative and another is your non-relatives. Okay, if you receive gift from your relatives, you don't have to stress about anything. Any income or any gift that you receive from your relatives, irrespective of the time, irrespective of the occasion, irrespective of the mode of receipt, or irrespective of the manner in which they pay you the gift, occasion. So manner does not matter, occasion, timing, amount, nothing matters. Okay, whenever you receive gift from them in any form, it will always be exempted under income tax, and you will not have to pay even a single rupee of tax on that income. So that gets it out of the way. Okay, so any income that you receive from a relative or any gift that you receive from a relative will not be taxed at all under Income Tax Act 1961. Perfect. Let's go further. Okay, let's understand what is the taxability of gift from non-relative. If you receive gift from non-relative, first you ask a question that when is the gift received? Okay, is it received at the time of marriage of the assessee, or is it received on any other occasion? If it is received at the time of marriage of the assessee, it is completely exempted, because income tax says that any gift that you received on occasion of marriage is completely exempted. Okay, irrespective of the amount, even if they give you 10 crore rupees as a gift in your wedding, it is completely exempted. Very clear? Next, if the gift you receive from non-relative on occasion other than marriage, right, then you ask a follow-up question that what is the amount of the gift. Okay, if the amount of gift is less than 50,000 rupees cumulatively, okay, not individually, cumulatively, if it is less than 50,000 rupees, it is exempted and not taxable. But if the cumulative amount of gift or an individual amount of gift is more than 50,000 rupees, then entire amount becomes taxable. This is something that people fail to understand. So I'll give you an example that on occasion of your birthday, if there are 5 friends who gives you 11,000 each as a gift, so 11,000 each given by 5 friends, make it 55,000 rupees of gift, right? So now some people get confused and some people say that, sir, out of 55,000, 50,000 rupees is exempted, so remaining 5,000 rupees will be taxable. This is not how taxability is going to be, because income tax law says that if your cash gift from non-relative on occasion other than marriage exceeds 50,000 rupees, either single, individually or cumulatively, entire amount becomes taxable. So in my example, entire 55,000 rupees will be taxable and not just the excess 5,000 rupees. Okay, now what is the definition of relative? Relative means spouse of an individual, brother sister of an individual, right? Then brother sister of spouse of an individual. After that, brother sister of either of the parents of the individual, right? Then we have lineal ascendant of the individual, that is your parents, your grandparents, right? Then you have lineal descendants, that is assessee's kids, grandkids and all those things. So ascendant means the generations before the assessee and descendants means generations after the assessee. So everyone in that line, okay, either the previous generation or the next generations are your relatives. Okay, and of course the spouse of these people that we just mentioned are your relatives. So basically these are the people defined under the relatives, and if you happen to receive gifts from them, it is exempted. Non-relative, marriage, exempted. Non-relative on occasion other than marriage, if less than 50,000, exempted. If more than 50,000, entire amount taxable. This is the taxability of the gift that I wanted everyone to understand. Hope it is very clear to you, and thank you so much for your time and attention. I'll see you guys in the next video.